We're back. We're ready for the next map. It's Squared Prospects' last chance to come back into this, ladies. It is their pick. It is their chance. But, Emmy, I want to start with you here. How, after such a devastating loss, would you make yourself be able to be in a position and come back from that? Like, what do these girls need to even stand a chance to get Dignitas? There we go. Mic up. Mic down.
Man, it's basically just, you really need the pistol because their momentum is very low right now. So
yeah.
I think as soon as they get the pistol round, or if they get the pistol round, it's going to be like a boost of confidence because they really couldn't get anything going that game. So it's really just going to take all of them to gather up all the strength, all the confidence they have into this first pistol round because I don't know, Dignitas are looking really good right now.
Yeah,
so
we've seen teams in the male scene come back from situations like this. Remember that SK win victory after losing 16-0, I think, was it? Early in the tournament versus Renegades, something like that. And they ended up winning. People at home, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So who knows, you know?
Anything is possible in
Anything is
Counter-Strike.
possible. Counter-Strike sometimes can be very one-sided when the momentum is extremely high for one team. You know, they're on stage, first map, the jitters, blah, blah, blah. This is behind. See, they're trying to refocus. I like what I'm seeing right now. They're trying to reconnect as a team. Hopefully, they're not talking about the last map, but talking about, hey, what do we need to do for the next map? What's the game plan?
Exactly.
What kind of energy we can bring? And hopefully, I think the coach is what I'm looking, is talking to them. Hopefully, he's telling them their role for the next round and not focusing on the past mistakes because that would be a mistake, you know?
A big mistake as well. Like, this is the key time now for Hellrose to use her experience, use all her years of playing this game alongside her team members to say, okay, this is what we need to do. Let's just completely blank out Inferno. Let's try and actually challenge Dignitas on train. But Dignitas, they must be riding high on beyond confidence because not only was that like an easy game for them, but now you're one map away. You're potentially getting your dream, right? Because you guys know these ladies. How much does this mean to them if they were able to get this in a 2-0 fashion after having such a good game against Rez previously yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's every match is so different. It depends on the momentum, on how you feel. Even in the day, what you ate that day, you know?
Yeah.
You never know. CS is the kind of game that's so not only teamwork, but extremely timing, extremely emotion, decision-making. Did they sleep well last night? You know, it can come down to that.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of the other esports game, it comes down to fast decision-making, you know, pacing, so many things. And that's why one map is always to be scratched if it went wrong, because you can recover from it pretty easily if you have the right mindset.
yeah, there's a reason why it's a best of 3 because, you know, lose one map and you still can bounce back.
Yeah.
So
Lose one map, you can still bounce back. That should be your first t-shirt.
Rap God over here. She's done it. She knows.
So they can still do this. You know, it's anyone's game. But obviously there's a momentum shift that needs to be changed. But, you know, 2 more maps that can be played, so.
One thing I guess I would not like to see come out of the Squared side is that them change their game massively just because of what they saw from Dignitas on one map, because I feel like they've definitely got a plan for Dignitas, having training there, you've got the research to do it, while you haven't got that when it comes to Squared, right? Dignitas can't look and go, oh, I'm going to go check out what they've done on train. So maybe the element of surprise is the key factor what Squared can use to win this game, but ultimately I'm nervous now. As a European, I'm sat here going, okay, now we're in a really tricky situation. But look, you're seeing them on your screens now. They are happy, they're chilling, they are in a good place coming into this. And it's the grand final stage that they're very much used to, right? They did it last year, they were here. Okay, they finished in 2nd place last year, but Squared Prospect, ultimately, they probably didn't expect to make it this far. Now look where they are.
Yeah, I think you brought the 2 points I wanted to bring. There's 2 things here to consider for Squared Prospect. First is, I think the reality that they're in the finals kicking in. Like throughout the whole tournament, they were just like going the flow, having fun. Big fans in the crowd, but they were just having fun, going to the flow, and now they actually want to win.
Yeah.
And now it becomes serious. They're on the stage, they're in the final, and just that little like extra stress from, oh, okay, we can actually win this. The being scared to lose is huge in Counter-Strike. Don't be scared to lose, play to win. I think that's part 1. And part 2 is, you know, if they adjusted to Dignitas, it's like no matter how they want to adjust Dignitas, especially T-side is the kind of team that at the moment they isolate players CT side and try to kind of gain map control with really good small executes, small little setups, with the right mollies, the right flashes, the right smoke to catch off guard CT side, to let one upper alone and arch on Inferno and just like make sure that she doesn't recover from it and die, you know? So they just kind of eat away CT side's defense, left, right, left, and I think as a pug, her prospect is not ready for these kind of things.
Now, something everyone on this desk has said at some point over this weekend is, knowing Dignitas, knowing how they play, okay, they want the more tactical maps. We saw them play Inferno, and it's got a bit of a mix of tactical and pug, and they have struggled on Inferno. They had the overtime win, then they lost out to Rez on it. But here, they were so incredibly dominant. And just from that message that I had from Odie, I'm seeing like, they were told not to play scared. You brought that up many times, because when they do play scared, it starts to fall apart. Surely, that shouldn't be a factor when it comes into train, right? Surely you cannot be scared after this situation. But does that make you nervous at all?
For Dignitas?
Yeah.
Not at all. Sometimes versus specific teams, they can play scared. We haven't seen this happen at all during this tournament, except versus Res Gaming a little bit.
Okay.
Even though their first map was close, I don't think they were playing scared. I think they were just doing some adjustments. You know, the first game is always a rough one.
So many close rounds in that game as well.
Exactly,
You've got to think about
but
that.
they ended up being on top, and I think that was the confidence they needed to just kind of bulldozer through this tournament.
Now, Emmy, are you feeling confident for a 2-0 now? You were out there calling it early on. Do you think that is the way this is going to go?
I'm feeling my predictions are pretty on point today.
Oh, look, so she comes on the desk first time. Now she's just balling on us with the whole, okay, my predictions, I'm doing it, I'm rocking it. You can take over from me if you want, Naomi. We'll get you a new spot.
Yeah.
I'm on her side. Adorable. I want her to be right, you know?
Yes, yes. You're making it happen. Dignitas are making it happen. But I want to think at least that Squared, they've got the skill, right? The individual skills there, and they've just got to completely reset and focus themselves. I love the fact that they've stayed on the stage. They may look a little bit deflated from this picture, but even when they were winning, right, we didn't see massive amounts of like super happiness coming out of them. Even Hellrose in the interview at the end, right, she was sat there going, oh, okay, we've done well. So maybe that's just their style. So if they're keeping focused and cool, calm and collected, maybe that bodes well for them going into this, especially after we've seen what the coach is saying to them, how Hellrose is mixing in there. They've clearly got the game plan. They're clearly talking about it all going into this.
We saw during the game at some point when the camera was on them that Zonic was getting pretty agitated, but I don't think she was being negative. It felt like she was doing, that's right, guys, we can do it. Let's go.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
That kind of positive cheers. They do look like a really zen team. Not a team necessarily that doesn't have any fire. I'm really just saying, like, you know, a team that really respects each other. From the outside perspective, I don't know what's going from the inside, but the outside, they seem all pretty chill with each other. And I mentioned it earlier, but I want to mention it again. Nobody was isolated between the games. They were all together on stage. No one was left apart. No one like went to the bathroom and didn't come back. They stuck together, and that's the kind of team spirit that I love to see.
Yeah, sometimes teams can be quiet after they lose.
Yeah.
So at least, you know, usually when team players are more vocal after they lose, it means that they want to solve the problem. They want motivation to win the next game. So seeing that they're very vocal with each other, the coach is being vocal, you know, individual players, they're really motivated to win this best of 3. So even though they, you know, didn't have their best performance, they could still bring this back.
Now, both of you, where do you think this is going to go one final time? Are we looking at the 2-0? Is Train going to be the Dignitas show once again?
I mean, like I said, I love 3 maps. I'm a huge Counter-Strike fan. I like to watch a lot of maps, but I think it's going to be a 2 at this point.
Okay, you both think it's going to go that way. I got to be honest as well. I feel like, obviously, I've spent the weekend with Canadians and North Americans on my desk, and I'm going to have to hold up the Dig win as well. We've got there in the end. Jackie Snods, it's over to you. Is this potentially the last map, lads?
Well, it's all to play for, James. We've locked ourselves in. Obviously, we did see Dig booking themselves some first-class tickets. They've got the feet up. They're ready for the business, but are they going to be able to bring it?
Crazy first map, right? 16-2. Dignitas, what? 12-0 up, essentially. Squared, you can see from their faces, as Miss Harvey said as well, agitated, frustrated. A few of the players looking a bit disjointed from the losses and also a bit shocked as well, thinking, how on earth are we this far behind?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it just seemed like there were issues that they couldn't quite get together, and more so, it was just Dig playing with absolute confidence. No matter what they did it in style, bursting into sites, finding consistent frags. I mean, it's got to be said, Goose Breeder just looked outrageous.
I know. What was it, like 22 frags after, like, what, 15 rounds being played? It must have been 22 frags in the first half or something ludicrous like that. Incredible performance there from her, obviously versus Rez as well. On Train, she was the star player. Milk as well had some incredible rounds. But in that last month as well, we cannot really understate the value that Artstar had, right? The clutch post-plant she had early on into the matchup, the pistol round as well. We didn't actually see it on camera, but, you know, the kill feed made it look good at least. You know, 3 frags towards Ruin. And that really started the, you know, the beginning. It was the beginning of the end for Squared.
Yeah, it's true. It was the really big downfall that started to hit. And we saw a few big rounds where Bullet Girl was able to actually don the AWP and get some impressive picks to open it up. But that was about it. She could get the ball rolling, but they could never really get it to the position they needed it in.
A worrying sign as well, if you're any Squared fans out there. That was their map pick, Inferno. Dignitas, if there's one map in this tournament they've actually looked rather shaky on, it has been Inferno, obviously going to overtime versus Singularity. The first day of the tournament, and now coming to the final, the complete stark contrast what we saw early on shows the real progress as well from this team. Obviously coming in, the rust was there, they shook off the nerves, they're in form, they're composed, and now they're playing at the best peak level.
Yeah, and now we get ourselves into the position we are in here in the grand final, obviously in the second map. If we see Dig take victory here, that is going to be a clean 2-0, Snods, and I feel like there is potential for that now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of confidence, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be zapped out of whatever Squared had from the last map, 16-2. And it wasn't as if it was like, okay, these rounds were close. There were maybe 4 or 3 rounds where I thought, okay, maybe Squared should have took that one. Even then, a complete blowout for Dignitas.
Yeah, just really blowing them out of the water, just being able to consistently find those entry frags and deal really crisp shots. It looked fantastic, and that's the thing. If that transitions now into Train, a map that should definitely be in their favor. I mean, this is in their map board, this is their pick, this is their home territory now. This really is their map to lose, Snods.
Oh, let's see. Obviously, if there was a map where Squared could get an early footing on, it was Inferno. And now coming into the map pick from Dignitas, we see Train in front of our very eyes. Zona Q, double flashbang. Molotov most likely going to be a B-take here, Jack. Use the Molotov, ricochet off the door in the post plant to deny the defuse. But obviously, what counters the Molotovs? The smoke from MU lead. So they should be able to extinguish the Molotov, and the defuse should come through if, of course, frags don't go back and forth for either team.
Rain. She normally can really run rampant into these rounds, and she knows how to wield a USP to a high skill level. Let's see if she can deal damage with it into this one, though. Blinded, forced to fall back, but gets the early tags out to at least soften up the opposition. But there's our girl, Goose Breeder, as per usual, popping heads and cleaning this one up. Milk comes through to take down Nessa as well. It's all on Bullet Girl. Can the Polish powerhouse start to change the outcome of this one? She falls into a 1v4. It's too much as she gets nailed against the door. Goes down and did get the opening pistol.
I actually really like the strat we just saw from Squared Prospect. Obviously, Dignitas landed the headshots, but the thought process behind that one was different to what I thought. I thought, okay, we see the Molotov, they're just going to Molotov off of the door, ricochet onto the site where it's default planted. Instead, we see the flash come in, they then rush down lower ramp, flash towards connector. The Molotov actually, Jack, used towards connector to deny the rotations, and while the bomb is being planted towards the left side of default, it's planted for connector, you've Molotov connector, you rush towards the backline trains, get up close with the Glocks, the bomb's planted for you. You know, that's actually a great strategy, one I haven't seen so far. Always good to see something new. The problem is, though, even the innovative strategies aren't enough to catch Dignitas off guard currently. Seems like they're playing on pristine form.
Well, we do have a small technical pause here whilst we resolve the issue. So it won't take too long, and then we can continue on here with a second map. But this bodes well for Dignitas already. You get the opening pistol run on the board, especially on that CT side of Train. It allows your economy to start getting itself into a healthy position early on during the first few rounds of the game. And as well, we see a double SMG buy for Emulate and Milk. So it's not really that risky as well. The rest of them going to be rocking the rifles. They can try and hold back any potential shenanigans from Squared, but they've still got the potential for a big cash builder.
So, Dignitas 1-0 up. Obviously, the bomb was planted, so I imagine Squared Prospect save into this round. Into round number 3, they can afford the AK buy. For Squared, if you remember the match on Cobblestone Jack versus Vivo Keed, there was what? 4 or 5 4 spy round victories, apologies. 4 Squared Prospect, we know they had the skill. Even Banks did on the desk as well. Squared Prospect have the skill, and one of the things we saw versus Rez, versus Vivo Keed, versus CLG Red was they had the skill to go toe-to-toe. But then the synergy, the chemistry that runs through this lineup was always enough to, you know, use the teamwork to their advantage. They're always outplaying in terms of Counter-Strike overall as a 5-player unit, outplaying their opposition, and now it seems like they've met their match. Dignitas playing better individually and as a core team. Team plays better, individual plays are better, the skill is definitely going to be high on the Dignitas team. I think Goosebreed has definitely been proving that one. What's left for Squared in terms of where do they go on the drawing board? Do they try and recompose themselves after such a tough loss? Do you try and forget about that matchup? Do you come back into this one thinking, you know what, just, you know, flash in the pan, we can come back into this one and we can still deliver?
Yeah, if she's just going to be able to keep that level consistent across the series, then it is definitely going to be a nuisance against them. But for Squared as well, it's just going to be interesting to see what the resurgence will be. You've got a lot of talent on that roster. We just need to see it shine through. Zoniki was looking good as ever. Obviously, she is the one that really has always been this main impact factor with the rifle. She's crisp, very confident in her own plays as well, and very smart in the way she's been actually bringing that to the table. That's why her and Bullet Girl were such big impact fraggers throughout the entire tournament. Now, getting into this one on Train, especially, Bullet Girl, once she gets onto that CT side, that AWP is going to be critical. But it's when we even get to that position. Obviously, for now, Dig over on the CT side, claiming the first round. They're just going to be looking to further that lead and try and get themselves with an extra 3 rounds. There will be the investment for Squared, though, Snods, as we see 4 SMGs coming out. A lot of money being pumped into this round.
Okay, so they are going to go for the 4 spy. 4 SMGs currently been invested into. Hellrose isn't bought just yet, so I imagine she goes for the same fate. Maybe the, you know, CZ full utility, because at the moment they only have 2 smokes and no flashbangs. I want to see some grenades here for the T side if they are going to go for an audacious, risky SMG buy. They can maybe go towards B, go towards Pop Dog. If they go towards Ajax, I want to see smoke towards Green Train, smoke towards Stop Sign, smoke towards the cross from connected to default, something to minimize the range disadvantage you have with those submachine guns. If they just plainly run out Team A and Pop Dog, they're going to get annihilated by the 3 rifles you see now from Dig. What?
They're just running out, just going for the burst towards the A side, so this is just going to allow them to be lined up and knocked down in seconds. Not really worth the risk here. Nessa, the only one left standing, and she has just been flexed on there. Goosebreeder, 3 frags. One of them with a USB as well to finish it off. Already 5 frags to her name. She's continuing over with that hot streak from the first game.
I mean, I set it up pretty well. I said the last thing I want to see from Squared is a rush towards Team Main and Pop Dog because they're going to get annihilated by the M4. So what happens? Goosebreeder with the M4A4, 30 bullets, decimates the rush from Squared Prospect through Team Main. And the 4 spy comes to a very swift halt. Now they walk down 1 by 1 versus the SMG of Milk, and these are easy frags and costly frags as well for Squared as you hand out $18,000 of liquid cash over to Milk.
Yeah, she's milked him in that one. She's just made so much money. It's ridiculous as well. So 5k already in her bank. Across the board on Dignitas, they're looking effective. They've done a fair amount of damage already into these rounds. The buy will now come out for Squared. This is where they've done the AKs, and they need to make some ruckus with them as well.
We are going to be going to the first full buy round here from both of these teams. No longer SMGs in the equation. Rifles across the board. Emily disregards her FAMAS for the AWP. Goes towards the stop sign, peeks in towards Team Main, so just holding for any aggression early on. Obviously, we know that Squared like to go for the aggressive peaks, especially Bullet Girl with her AWP. Leaving 1 player towards Ali, that's going to be Hellrose. Still, I mean, the issue here for Squared is there's no real presence shown early. They have 1 player towards Ali. Ness is going to be joining her as well, so they will have the 2-player Ali set up at least. They have smokes to work with, so they can smoke off towards the back lines. They have no Molotov, though, for the right side, which could be an issue. Zonny Q, apologies, playing very passive as well towards Whitehorse. They're just holding, patiently waiting. And Artstar could go huge here.
Yeah, Artstar just needs to go famous with a farmer, so she'll get the first spray, finds the headshot, and does take down Hellrose, but the response is there from Nessa. Goosebreeder, once again coming into her own, takes down Vic, so it's only a trio of terrorists alive on the side of Squared. And they're spread fairly thin as well, and the numbers keep dropping. Second after second, players hit the deck, and it all comes down to Zoniq.
1 versus 4. This match is being set up in terms of the narrative the exact same as Inferno. 4-0 lead here for Dignitas, and starting to sound a bit like a broken record here, Jack, but of course, the early rounds are huge for Dignitas. A game and a team where the early momentum pushes them forward. They have wind behind their sails, and they play off of that advantage. But it will be the eco now from Squared. 3 to Kevlar though. PT50s across the board. They have 1 smoke, probably going to go towards B lower, rush down B, and try their very best to get the bomb down. Obviously, if the bomb is down, the injection of cash could lead to an AWP maybe for Bullet Girl, and that could be the defining factor to find a round here for Squared, because at the moment, across the board, they're lacking.
Yeah. And Rain set up in a fantastic angle as well to deal with this. She will have to fall back as the push comes through. Molotov goes out to try and scorch them a little bit. Nessa actually connects the shot. Well played as well from Elite on the entry. Takes down Vic. Milk as well, just spraying and praying, hoping she can connect those shots. But unfortunately, Bullet Girl was able to bypass her. She stays alive as she just bobs around on the site. Gooseberry doesn't detect her either, so she actually gets the drop on Elite. She arms herself with the AWP stance. This is the weapon that she can be incredible with, but she needs to be fast, unfortunately. Arcstar catches her on the cross. The defuse was being held by Goose as well, and that is another round for Dignitas. Consistently looking amazing into these rounds. Squared will get the investment they want, though. You get the AWP out on Bullet Girl, and the AKs across the board.
So the bomb was planted, and the AWP is going to be into commission here for Squared, going into the round number 6 and the second Byron we've seen so far into the second matchup. Of course, Dignitas with a 1-map lead, so if they win Train, they go on to be our Intel Challenge champions. Emily this time, though, good spawn towards B up, but the Molotov should deter her, and eventually she will fall back. Towards lower ramp as well, you have Rain, but enough of that towards the B-bomb side, because attention has been made. Gooseberry finds the first frag, and that one incredible map we saw in Inferno from her doesn't seem to be like a fluke here.
No, this seems to be absolute consistency. Just pure skill coming through. Flashbang entry, but Rain's able to turn around at the correct time, and so she is just going to be playing on the off angle, waiting for the push to come towards her, but Squared don't want to commit to that. They back off. They've got the setup to try and go for the smokes towards the A site, Snods. It still depends if they can actually find success, especially when the push comes in from Rain. She gets one, but she's dismantled the play.
4 versus 3. Still going to be the player advantage here for Dignitas. The push comes in towards A. 50 seconds left, and Milk here towards D4 finds the first. Flips it round, but can't connect the spray transfer. And now we see still the player advantage though for Dignitas as the assault towards A still continues.
Bullet Girl on 1 HP. It's just a single shot. It's all that Goose Breeder needs. Goose Breeder with a follow-up frag as well. A hat-trick and another round. 6 for Dignitas, round after round.
A consolation bomb plant though will be enough to warrant a buy into round number 7 here for Square Prospect. As you can see, the instant investment there from Vicky into the AK. No time to think as they go straight back and plug themselves into the Matrix. But right now, Jack, they're not dodging bullets. At this point, they're absorbing all of them as they're 6-0 down. And where's the pause? Where is the pause from Squared? You're 6-0 down. You tried the rushes towards there. You've tried the slow defaults. Nothing's worked so far.
And you can see Dig as well playing with absolute confidence as they go for a more aggressive stance. Playing a lot closer than usual. Is going to be the play towards B, but Elite with support of Rain, this could be fantastic, especially if Rain's just playing anti-flash. She's just going to be dry facing it, but it doesn't really matter. This is good as well. Play anti-flash, you've got support from the AWP. She misses the shot, you peek out. You might only get one, but Elite can deal more damage. She snipes her way through them, consistently landing those shots on the entry, Snods. She is punishing them with this AWP.
3 versus 2. Bomb. Should be picked up, and it will be by Zoniq. The flank's coming from behind though. Milk from the rear catches Hellrose off guard and just spots the shoulder as well from Elite onto Zoniq. 7-0 history continues to repeat itself. No resistance has been received from Dignitas. I mean, after plants they're winning. Early portions of the rounds, they're the ones fronting the first frag as well. There has been no advantage, it seems, for Squared. Even in the last round when the bomb was planted as a 4 versus 3 into a 2 versus 3. That round there, Emily with the AWP turns it into the 4 versus 3, then into the 3 versus 2. We've never really seen an advantageous, scenario for the T side. They just keep getting destroyed across all facets of Train. As they all go for the contact play, and we know what counts as a contact play, Jack, it's an AWP.
Especially when you've got Elite on it. She always has the upper hand in these situations, Nods. She is fantastic with it. She gets the first pick, draws back, no overcommit as well. It's also smart to see Rain repositioning. She doesn't need to be playing on the close angle anymore. She can just play from sight. The damage is done.
Minute 15 left on the clock. Third player may be rotating as well towards the B bomb side as Goose Breeder goes for the push towards Team A and finds so much key information. They know what's about to ensue here, Jack. The B execution is on the cards now for Square Prospects, and when they do commit eventually, Goose Breeder's going to have the perfect time flank all behind. As the information is gathered, the third player, Mill, going to be coming in from Connector, coming in behind Grey Train. The setup from Dignitas is perfect. They have Squared quarantined from all angles.
Here come the smokes and the flashes. Zone out the CTs and push your way in, but Milk doesn't want to allow them any leverage. The frag from Goose Breeder from behind as well. A flawless round from Dig. Still keeping it up, Dignitas. 8 rounds to their name. It is a repeat of Inferno Snods, and it's not boding well for Squared. Bullet Girl going to be going back on the Deagle. Looks like it will just be a small investment into the round. Hellrose going for the straight AK, though, as they do actually opt to pump a little bit more into this one.
Desperation now from Squared. Obviously, they have to find rounds as soon as possible. They're going to be forcing into round and round again. 8-0 down. They've tried having an AWP onto Bullet Girl and 4 AKs in full-fledged utility. And now they're deducted down to just, what, 4 rifles, 2 AKs, 2 Galils, 1 Deagle there for Bullet Girl. Double pop set up again from Dignitas, so they have early information. They could be hearing steps as well towards B upper. Another point to make is, of course, that coming out through Team Main, are you going to be expecting the push in from Goose Breeder from Pop? Let's see as they run through the Molotov to their instant doom.
Yeah, trying to go for the play, but Milk will be able to find the first. Stunts the push and gets them into a good position. Rain as well. She gets behind them. They don't detect her. It could be crazy. Rain gets the fraggles on a Q as well. She was just bounding across, tries to take down Hellrose, but she'll barely stay alive and be able to fight through for another day. As she tiptoes through, close towards Oil Train. The peek from Emulite, but it's a miss. Backs it up with a P250 though, and it's all down to Nessa. She's coming in from the rear. She's in a good position to actually strike against them. Gets the first, but the bomb's being defused. She might land the kill with the AK, but the timing didn't work out for her, Snods. They went for the straight commit on the bomb defuse. Dignitas get another round.
First pause we're seeing into this matchup. I can only expect it to be from the likes of Squared. And you can see as well, Hellrose, the IGL captain for this roster, has 2 minutes to try and basically decipher what Dignitas are doing. Early control towards Pop Dog at the start of these rounds. Do Squared know the double pop Molotovs? I doubt it. This is a team that's been together for what? Since the Intel Challenger qualifiers? A few weeks, if that. Come together. Are you going to have the, nuances of Train down in your, strat book? Are you going to have the double Molotov take towards Pop Dog? The smoke Molotov take towards, Ali, Green Train, you name it? Are they going to have the set strats across all of these maps that they play? Highly unlikely, especially considering the fact that so far they've got away with Cobblestone, Inferno, Mirage as well, now on Train. You can see they're lacking that overall perspective.
Well, that's the thing. The maps where they've actually been allowed to play the more puggy style of CS, they've won off the back of individual skill. But now into scenario against Dig that I'd say for me have been the team that look like they play the most like an actual unit. They work together very well. There's great comms. The setups are fantastic. And the fact they've got all the fire to work with as well it's really just not boding well. Squared can't get this into the sort of game that they want to play. They can't take the advantage that they need to. It's just not working out well. The buys will be coming back through once again though. Bullet Girl does have the AWP on that T side. They've got the full buyout as we dive back in. Round number 10. Dignitas, 9 rounds on the board. Squared still unable to find one. Is this where things change?
Well, what has changed? Still going to be Hellrose going towards Ali. Still going to be Vicky towards the B upper portion of the map. The flashbang comes in, going to be forcing back Rain. So now at least they have control towards the B side. Eventually we may see Emulite rotate towards that side. Artstar this time with the AWP. Finds the first frag towards Team Main. So, the pause was something for Squared to latch onto to maybe reconfigure themselves into this matchup and come back stronger after the pause, but instead, already, just what, 40 seconds into this round, they lose their first player against the double AWP setup. from Artstar and Emily on the CT side of the train from Dignitas. Bullet Girl, one of the star players and the staples of Squared, taking out the equation. Where do Squared go back to? This time as well from Dignitas, they're playing very far back, very passive. But the aggression does come in from Milk, and Hellrose is going to win that duel. So 4 versus 4. Artstar this time playing towards Hell. Won't even need to use her ult. Goosebeard finds that frag, a player advantage again as they make their way towards A.
Yeah, push comes up. They have been able to get close towards the site. Emulite goes down. There's Goosebeard, but Artstar fires back with the AWP and will be able to claim that first frag. If Rain can support her, maybe it was doable. But now she falls into a 1 versus 2. Instead, she'll take the AK. She tries to bob and weave and encroach back upon the bomb site. She needs to topple the defense, finds the free frag on Zoniq as she was unaware of her location. Molotov out as well to try and make things harder for Nessa. She can't quite push just yet. 40 HP to play with as she's listening out for the audio cues to aid her. She has vision on the bomb. Artstar tiptoes up, stealthily makes her approach, fires out the warning shots, going to tap the bomb. This will need to force the face from Nessa. If she goes too slow, it can be a free defuse. She's going to grab it, gets the defuse for free.
She can't believe it! 10-0, double digits already again for Dignitas, and we're seeing deja vu here, Jack, from Inferno. 12-0 on Inferno, and now already that same storyline's being met. 10-0 going forward. As Squared, I mean, are they going to have anything left mentally? Confidence? You name it. I mean, it's all gone. It's all gone. Artstar there, 1 versus 2. This time, you know, a little something. Bullet Girl finds the first frag, tries to go for a second as well, but Artstar missing the shot. So it will be an advantage this time for Squared. We haven't been saying that too much so far, have we, Jack?
Especially when they traded back as well, Snods, as Goosebeard finds the headshot on Bullet Girl. She was able to unload with the M4. Artstar going to try and go for that peek back towards Hellrose. There's a trade of nades as the lob a HE in on a smoke to try and force her to reposition. She will back off, grab the bomb. Rain as well. Depends on how she actually opts to play this one, as these HEs are dealing a nice bit of damage across the board, just softening up the opposition, making Squared's lives a little bit easier.
2 towards the B bomb site here from Dignitas. Goosebeard as well pulling towards lower ramp. Rain as well, the B anchor, going to be playing towards default, holding for the off angle towards Heaven. As they line up the smokes towards the B bomb site. It looks like they're lining up the deep smokes as well, Jack, towards connector, towards the red train as well. And they are. The problem is, though, Rain's in front of them.
Rain and Goosebeard, they need to be ready. Hellrose with the first, takes down Goosebeard. Rain will be able to respond as she gets the first, nearly the second as well. But this time, Squared have been able to claim the B site as their domain. It's now their territory. Milk with the entry, though. That's a nice little tap, fires back with the M4. Artstar on the elevated angle, barely missing the shot with the AWP, but she needs to try and snipe down the opposition and straight rip her way through them. Milk as well with the timing, could be great. Gets the first. Artstar with a peek, barely stays alive, but somehow is able to. The spam from Milk and the defuse. 11 rounds on the trot. Dignitas showing no signs of stopping. There is no brakes on this pain train.
Wow, Squared, I mean, peaking in a 3 versus 2 advantage with the bombs planted default. These rounds are getting messy, Jack, but they don't care. Dignitas don't care. At this point, a round is a round, and it puts them ever closer to 16.
And look at this as well, Snots. How many of these rounds they've won off a retake on a bomb defuse?
7 after plants lost for Squared. And it's the opposite, you know. Versus, or should I say in the groups, versus, you know, CLG Red and Mirage, they were just outplaying CLG in the afterplants. Versus Reds as well, it was always their T-side afterplants on Cobblestone that was so strong. And now it seems like maybe the pressure's got to them. Something's changed overnight here, Jack, because this isn't the same Squared we've seen so far in this tournament.
No. It just seems that there
are
are...
Dignitas balls as well.
Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Dig have really been actually making use of these pulls throughout the tournament. This has actually been a fairly consistent fact for them. When they get such a vast lead, they do want to go in for the pulls and be able to resituate themselves. And if it's been paying off, it's been paying off. In terms of the buy, at least, Snods, we do actually have the AWP come back out for Bullet Girl. There's AKs across the board. They have tons of utility. It just depends if they have something they can actually try and adapt now. What do you want to see coming out from them? How can they actually try and find some rounds here?
It's difficult, really. Obviously, before Artstar, Emulite playing the double AWP setup towards outside. Could you go for the wall of smokes? Obviously, warding off the AWPs. We know that Dignitas sometimes play close, double towards Pop Dog, for example, or they sometimes play far back and reserved. you have to see a wall of smokes here to counter these orbs. If you keep walking in contact or facing them like they are, they're never going to find a round on their T side here, Jack. We need to see something where they nullify the orbs of utility, smokes, flashbangs, whatever, you name it, but simple rushes or simple peaks like we're seeing so far, it's so easy for Dignitas to capitalize off of that.
We are back in. Round number 12 here. Dignitas have won 11 rounds back-to-back consistently, just backhanding squared. No matter what they do, they're able to find these early frags, and they've been looking absolutely brilliant.
They know one's out towards Blue Train potentially. Bullet Girl with the aggression. All it is, though, is a ruse, Jack, as they march their way towards heaven.
Yeah, they've coaxed them into a snafu, but will it work out? Emulate fires back, takes down Nessa. She's able to consistently go for these peaks. Sonic Q is so low. She holds the angle, but it doesn't matter. She still gets executed. Emulate is just finding these frags one after another with the AWP. She's already claimed a hat-trick, and she'll be looking to try and increase that even further. Bullet Girl takes down Artstar as we fall now into a 3 versus 2. Vic. If she could be vicious into this one, there are 2 low players in close proximity to her. She can bypass them as well. Tiptoes into behind, has to have the trigger discipline, the peak from Milk, but she still finds success. And you can see as well the CT's now panicked into this round. Bullet Girl with a deagle. It's just one left on Goose Breeder as she taps the bomb.
She's not defusing it.
They're confused as they push back through. Time might be up. Goose Breeder just going to be able to warm around. They are trying to go for the knife. There's a bit of a waltz going on the site. The Cha-Cha slide coming through.
What?
A bit of a mishmash of a round.
Touch the bomb. Well, I mean, after 11 rounds, Squared find 1. If Goose Breeder stuck the defuse there, I think she actually may have had that.
It kind of looked like it, to be honest with you.
Well, 11 to 1. Vicky did survive, so that's at least one weapon, she can drop over. Apart from that, it will be the Galil there for Sonic Q. Missed shot from Bullet Girl, and you can see the instant frustration as she's so disappointed in missing that one. Push towards lower ramp. Molotov in hand from Vicky as the push wide phase comes through, and the 2-for-1 exchange actually that goes in favor of Squared, so they're going to be happy with that one at least.
This is good as well, Snods, because it's actually been, I mean, vastly Dignitas round after round. They get the early advantage. They're able to find the early entries. They're the ones that are always in the driving seat. So Squared this time around, they actually do have a bit more leeway to play with. 4v5 into this round. Milk trades it back, finds Nessa. Hellrose does want to try and stop the resurgence from the CT side though, and she does it in fantastic fashion. Unleashes hell upon them, gets the double kill, peek from Emulate, but Bullet Girl will blast her out of the server.
No one holding towards Ali there from Dig. They made a smart play though, Jack. They lose control towards B, so they try to get real estate back in their hands. They go for the A main take, makes sense obviously. The flash coming in from Artstar. Artstar being the alley player. Gives up alley, tries to take T-main. Smart play, the issue was obviously completely giving up T-main is a massive risk to take, or vice versa, sorry, towards alley. But Bullet Girl this time will land the shot versus the eco. Dignitas are going to be saving for that final round.
Aggressive from Dig as well, as they go for the early nades. Bullet Girl's only on 20 HP. Milk actually pushes in. Even if she just holds the angle and waits to see if someone's going to push in back through on the late round, she can deal damage at that point, but there's so much time left on the clock. It was only a light investment into P250s as well. Just the 1 kit on Goose Breeder, just in case there's a chance.
One towards B here from Dignitas. They're going to be stacking the remaining 3 players that are alive towards A. Bomb still towards T-spawn as Squared patiently wait for the aggressive peaks coming up from Dignitas, hoping that they get a bit aggressive here, trying to find some information. But instead they're holding. No Kevlar. Goose Breeder has invested into the defuse kit though, Jack, just in case things go a bit crazy, which they definitely can.
Rain going to be assaulted here as they push their way down. See if they can find the first frags. Milk with a nice little dink as well. Takes down Nessa as she's able to connect the shot with a P250. There was a trade back from Bullet Girl as the swarm of Ts now burst through. But Emulate is going to be a critical member. Her teammates just need to stay alive. Goose Breeder just needs to try and delay the push. Unfortunately, he was detected by Zonicu from behind. So they will go back up ladder. Work the whole way through, round through pop, over to B site, get the bomb down. You're in a 4 versus 1. Goose Breeder, ideally, if she can hunt down the weapon that was dropped, that would be a fairly effective save.
Orb salvaged here for Goose Breeder. But it will be 11 to 3. Squared have come back twice from a 10-5 deficit in the group stages in the semi-final to find victory to make it into the finals. But now they're going to be tested to a limit they haven't seen so far. Final round here this first half, Jack. Dignitas oozing confidence after how one-sided this best of 3 and the finals of this tournament have been for them. As we go into the final round of the first half, Orb for Bullet Girl, and on the flip side, we've seen nothing from Elite. Just going to be the silence and 4. No defuse gets as well from the CT side, so they're going to have to get aggressive here. They cannot concede the bomb plan as they're going to be heavily unfavored in the retakes. But then again, with how Squared have played the retakes in the finals, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, there is going to be no time for dilly-dallying. Everything has to be swift, confident into this round, as they currently just wait to see what will happen here. Squared extending around the map, getting themselves into more favourable angles as they do want to try and set this one up. Vic as well, clearing now towards upper B site as she works her way through. The bomb still being left, lying in wait, Snods. There isn't a commit just yet. They find success at Ivy as well. Artstar goes down. She spots out Hellrose and Nessa, but they're retreating back. They want to recover the bomb, group up and work as a 5.
No need for Squared now to get overzealous and give away the advantage they found. One of the issues we saw earlier was the fact that they would gain the lead and instantly throw it away, essentially. 50 seconds left. Still again, Goose Breeder, Milk. Duo in towards Pop Dog. Find the reply frag. Now we're into a 4 versus 4. And we didn't see the double drop like we usually see. One player basically suicides down and through the smoke as well. The frustrations there on the player cam. 4 versus 3. Milk still alive as well with 7 HP. No defuse kit, remember. But with 20 seconds left, the bomb has to make its way all the way towards the B-bomb site. Okay, they know the Molotov. Where are the double Molotovs to pop? Oh dear. Obviously, Hellrose being the player towards Ali couldn't, do the pop take. But nevertheless, how is their B take going to be looking?
Well, smoke out, they push through as they want to try and take this up. They don't have much time, Snods. It needs to be perfect, and it's definitely been slowed down. Hellrose trying to get that bomb down as the Molotov barely misses her, but the push from Goose Breeder won't miss. She gets the first. It's all down to Bullet Girl. AK in her hands, trying to force everyone else to hit the DECK. The nade might work, but the AK won't. Milk takes her down. Another round for Dignitas, and that is a huge half.
And is it enough? 3 rounds for Squared on their T-side of train. They've poured it through, on, as you said, the more puggy maps, quote-unquote. Your Mirages, your Cobblestones, your Infernos and whatnot. And now on to Train. We can see the disarray they've been sent into. They are lacking the wall of smokes, the double Molotov Pop Dog take to counter that sort of play that we see from Goose Breed and Milk. The alley control, the strong defaults haven't been there. And this may be the final half we see of this whole tournament, Jack. Dignitas starting to see if they can build their legacy, and it may all start here.
Yeah, this really could be them actually locking it down early, taking that championship title here at the Intel Challenge.
Push towards Ali though from Hellrose. Information's going to be gathered. 3 players here from Squared. This is a must-win round if they want any chance into this tournament.
Grouped up, ready to burst. Double smoke out. You've got yourself time to play with. The flashbang will be the key, and that will be the catalyst of the round. Bullet Girl and co need to be poised and ready. They have to be deadly. They have to land their shots. Vic might, but Bullet Girl, can she back her up? Doesn't matter. Sonic Girl coming through as they will actually execute everyone. That was what we wanted to see. The more aggressive pistol round there from Squared as they actually do fire off, land those shots. It was like a firing range, and everyone goes down. They get themselves the opening pistol. Direly needed.
Push towards Ali, obviously, at the start of the round from Hellrose. Gathers all the information she needs. Spots no one lining up smokes as well outside T main towards T spawn. Knew that everyone was leaning towards that B side of the map. She sent the 3 players there. Good stack. They landed the headshots. They connected the kills. Now the fast force rush down B ramp, Jack.
They're just going for it, running the risk. They actually find the entry as well. The CZ's in close range, paying dividends for them as they get the first frag. But Bullet Girl up top, she had the higher ground. She'll take down her Padawans as she fires upon them. Rain will return the favor back towards Vic, though. Rain actually armed with a Famus now as well. And Elite comes into play, Snods, but it's all on Rain. She's got a Famus. She's got the drop on them. She finds the headshot on Nessa. Not like this. Surely. She's 1 minute and 16 seconds. Hellrose from miles away with the UMP. Can't quite find the frag. Rain takes her down. Dignitas. How are they winning these rounds?
3 more now for Dig. As the fast rush down towards B lower, coming in towards the B bomb, so we thought that Bullet Girl had salvaged the round and brought it back into favor for the Square, but instead, Rain in the 1 versus 2 with the salvage. FAMAS secures both those frags, and now we see the beginning of the end for Square. The force buy is in vision. 2 Deagles, 5-7, P250, 5-6 Kevlar as well. They have flashbangs, 1 smoke and a FAMAS as well onto Hellrose, but apart from that, a bare bones buy to try and keep themselves in the tournament. 3 players towards Ali as well from Dignitas as they can patiently wait, see if Squared overstep and make their mark and potentially concede this one.
Oh, Nessa, as they want to try and push through. If they go for this place, no, it could be ridiculous. 13-4 is the scoreline. It looks like this will be over fairly quickly as the damage is done as well. Dignitas finding the frags they need so dearly into this round. It's just Bullet Girl and Zoniq remaining, and they're not in fantastic angles either, and they're being hunted. Goose Breeder takes them down. As it's just Bullet Girl left, miles away from the action as well, over at the B site with a Deagle in her hands. Deagle in a dream, but will it come true?
I think it already has, though. When you think about the Cinderella story for Squared Prospect, obviously, Hellrose loses 2 of our players that go form Singularity with Petra after being removed from Res Gaming. They come in as massive underdogs. They form just for the qualifier. Now we see them in the finals. Yes, they're getting decimated by Dignitas, and so far over 2 maps, only able to gain 6 rounds. 4 now, and obviously 2 on Inferno. You still have to be extremely impressed with the play they showed in the group stages, the semi-finals, going 4-0 in maps coming into the grand final. I still think they can be rather satisfied with the play so far.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good showing from the side. Zoniq as well, up close burst with the 5-7. That was beautiful as she found the first tap off. Takes down Emily. That was sick, but unfortunately there is a response. They get taken down. Bullet Girl with the Deagle needs to try peek out, swing wide, and really blow them to bits, but Artstar will just galil her way through her as they've got control over a B. Nessa as well, the slow peek up from Pop Dog, but unfortunately it was covered by Milk. Hellrose is in the right position to be quite deadly. Strikes with the first, hammers down on the trigger, but will only get 1.
Match point now for Dig. Championship point, should I say, rather. 11 chances now to seal the deal and be the new Intel champions. Squared. What's the buy going to be looking like? We know Dig have cash to go for a strong one. It all comes down to this. 18 rounds it took Dig to win Inferno. And as we head into round number 20, they're going to be having the firepower advantage, the utility advantage, the confidence advantage. Everything is in their favor to get this done swiftly.
Yeah. They just want to end it right here, right now. 20 rounds is all they want this to take. They want to close it down and lift that trophy, Snods. They want the title, they want the pride, and it's looking like they're going to be able to take it. Squared. A bit of a force buy coming into this one, essentially. Whatever SMGs they could bring to the table. Utility is dry bones as well. It'll be a play towards that B site.
Rain sending the fake towards the A-bomb site. It's not going to be startling Squared, but the rush down low at May.
Oh, Zoniq unable to do what she needed to do, but the Deagle from Bullet Girl will only find 1 frag as well. That was their last-ditch attempt. The rotate over now. Things aren't going well for them. They have so much time. They get the bomb down as well. Hellrose, she peeks out. She was the last remaining member. Team Dignitas, 16-4. They are your Intel Challenge champions.
2-0. Easy as could be. 6 rounds as all Squared were able to conjure up over the course of those 2 maps. 16-2 in dominating fashion on Squared map pick as well. You can see the disbelief from these players. Didn't expect it to be so damn easy for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they just came in to the server, outclassed the opposition, did it for Dig, and went huge across the board. Everyone was popping off.
We asked so many questions about Squared, going into that second map on Train. Yes, it's the map pick from Dignitas, but can they reset themselves, come in composed, relax, forget about the last map? And it seems like their history and their past daunted on them again. It's going to be a 2-0, swiftly, uncontested as well. As you said before, Jack, Dignitas are our new champions at Intel Challenge.
Yeah, and they deserve the title as well. Nothing but fantastic play throughout the entire tournament. Dig have looked like the ones to watch this time around. Rez struggled, and this is where things were a whole lot different. It was just crazy to witness.
If we could have our input as well in terms of the MVP, Jack, who are you going to be leaning towards?
I think it's got to be Goose Breeder, right? Hands down, Goose Breeder.
I think if Bullet Girl was unstoppable in the finals, I would, give good claws to her to have that. But after seeing Goose Breeder's performance on Inferno, on, the semi-final as well versus Rez, definitely the difference maker.
Yeah, just incredible stuff there.
Well, question is now for Squared, obviously finishing second here. Do they stay together as a 5-player unit? Are they going to be... Well, is there going to be frustration in the camp there? Obviously, yes, they got decimated in the finals, but there is room to improve there. They have the talent, they have the players, they lack the teamwork, but it's something they can work on with time. This is such a newly formed roster. Obviously, Hellrose losing 2 of our star players that went to Singularity, brings in Nessa and Zonek, and here they are in the finals. You can still be so satisfied with that.
Well, that is it though from us, but for now, would you look at Matt?
Thank you very much, Jackie and Snods, for taking us through our championship final live here from the Intel Challenge Katowice 2018. And finally, and I know it's been a long time coming, Emily, we talked last year. You were getting there. It was coming, but you were always kind of just not there at the end. And you took out Rez Gaming in the semi-finals, which, as we talked yesterday, was a huge achievement for you. So coming into this final, you must have been feeling very confident.
Yeah, we worked so hard for the past 3 to 4 years for this very moment. We were sick of getting second place. So that just goes to show, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up and keep working hard.
Yeah, second place can always be that kind of fuel to get it done. And you never had doubts that you could do it?
No, never doubted.
I think a lot of the fans are with you as well and always knew one day you could get there. But that was such a one-sided final. We never really expect to see, a final go quite so quickly, really. 2-0 maybe, but 16-2 and 16-4.
Yeah, our coach, XP3, is really good at giving prep talks to just get you in the mood to just go in there and give it your all. So that's really what he did and gave us the confidence that we needed to get the win.
And we talked yesterday about how pleased, just genuinely pleased you all seem to be in that final. Is it too early, Goose Breeder, to say how you're feeling now?
I'm pretty excited. We worked really hard, so it's glad to see that we knew we would eventually win. We just didn't know when. And it's glad to see that all our hard work is paying off, and we're going to keep working harder. And we have so many goals we still want to achieve.
But this one feels good right now.
Yeah, I feel great right now.
We won't keep you from it any longer then. That trophy over there that I know you've wanted for so long is yours now. So Emily, Goose Breeder, and everybody on Team Dignitas, congratulations to you. This is yours, ladies and gentlemen, the new champions of the Intel Challenge Katowice 2018, Team Dignitas! The title is theirs. Congratulations to everybody on the team. That amazing 2-0 will go down in history. Let's talk about it some more right now with Emmy, Miss Harvey, and James Banks.
The Dig win was real. It was not a myth. There we go. It's done and dusted. The grand final. They made it happen. But in what a convincing style, ladies. You both went with a 2-0 prediction there. You both thought it was possible. But they were not close games. Dignitas were not messing around. They came to play. They brought more than their A game. They brought more than what anyone expected. And this is how it went down. How are you feeling?
I have shivers right now. I'm like on the verge of tears. I know this was this one-sided affair, but these kind of moments are so important for players.
Yeah.
Like Goose said, I think, she said, like, we knew we were going to win. It was just a matter of when. I think it says a lot. Their determination, their loyalty towards each other, their friendship. It's just a great moment. Even the confetti were yellow. They were ready. Like, everything aligned for them to win this tournament.
Well, everything aligned indeed in the sense that it was, you got the Res matchup in the semi-final. We were almost a little bit nervous, right? And then it came down to it. They managed to make it happen. Second place last year. This time around, they've managed to take it first, but I am just incredibly impressed. I think this really does set the tone for 2018 and going forward. But let's have a quick look at how that last game went.
Last game was a little bit closer. You know, if we dare replace, yeah.
There we go.
But last game was a little bit closer. Although it started as a 10-0, I think, and it took a long time for Squared to get some of the rounds on the board. They won pistol, I think, second half,
yeah,
which led to a little mini comeback. But in the end, you know, Dignitas had too much in advance, and it was kind of easy for them to close it.
Well, the one round I really wanted to talk about with you guys is actually when we saw Squared Prospect get that pistol, I thought, okay, we got a game on our hands. But then that force came in, and it was just incredible because Hellrose was there, had a good chance, more health, in a good position, but then she challenged the FAMAS at such a long distance and got punished for it massively. They still had that chance to come back into it. And after there, it just seemed like a heads dropped. I don't know what you guys thought of it all.
There were a lot of possibilities to win that round with a UMP against a FAMAS. And I don't know, Nessa took the absolute wrong option to win that round. Because, you know, you have a UMP, you're long, as you see right here.
Oh,
this is the one, Hellrose.
Long range against a FAMAS. It is a 10-0 fight. Like, you are never going to win that fight. Unless, you know, obviously you get
to be fair, she should have never been put in that situation.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, their anti-eco setup and B was a little bit questionable, but you know, they were just stronger and more prepared in the end.
Now, what do you guys think about the whole situation with Squared now? Like, you come second, you had no expectations going into this. Clearly, they can perform to a strong level here. Are we hoping that they stick together now? Because we were talking about this before, right? The rise of female Counter-Strike in a sense that we're seeing more teams, more players take part, and they've got the skills. So what do you think? Do you think this is the start of things to come as well for this team?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't think if I'm Squared right now, I'm disappointed, you know? Like Nessa said in the interview, pre-game interview, they were not even expecting to make it that far. They probably learned a lot from it. And I'm pretty sure that their goal is to stick together. Hopefully they stick together if you're listening to this.
Come on, Squared, do it.
Don't give up.
Wise words from Miss Harvey.
No, but seriously, this is exactly what Goose said. Again, I'm going back to that, right? If you put in the hard work, if you trust your teammates, eventually it's going to pay off. Doesn't matter if it didn't pay off today. Doesn't matter if it doesn't pay off tomorrow. What matters is the big picture, which is being the best in the end.
Well, we're going to take one last look at the brackets, see exactly how this all got worked out. Dignitas' route from the semi-final 2-1 over Res into the grand final. Squared Prospect, though, had the 2-0. We then see in the third place match, Res, they managed to take it. Vivo Keed going out 2-0, but it was close towards the end for Vivo. And then we have the grand final, a 2-0 situation, and we see 25K go for Dignitas, 12K for second place.
In a way, Nessa was right. They only played 6 maps.
You're very, hey, that was good. That was good. She played 6 maps. They came to play 6 maps, so they got to where they wanted to.
Exactly.
It just didn't come together at the end.
Her goal has been achieved.
Yeah. The money, the second place, the goal, something to work with, a team to do all the damage with. Ultimately, though, what are your closing thoughts on the entire tournament? Emmy, starting with you.
This is just very exciting. Like, this is really awesome because even though our team got knocked out, this is a big win for, you know, Canadian and American female teams because I don't think a American or female team won a big event like this. Like for
I think it's been since 2005 when we won in ESVC. The last time that any team won, unless the Dig won any Copenhagen. Tell us on Twitter. I'm not quite sure, but I think
this was a big win for, like, of course for Dignitas, but for the motivation for other females in America to come out and to try to get on teams and try to do these qualifiers, and Canadian teams. So this is a big win for everyone here.
Yeah, and I think what's so great about this for overall women Counter-Strike is Dignitas just raised the bar here. You know, everyone was kind of here for the past year. Res was kind of here. Dignitas just said, "Here's what you have to do to win." Boom, we're there, and we're only gonna get better, right? So it's a matter of all the other teams in the pool here to be able to get past that ceiling. I think it's going to create some great Counter-Strike for the women's scene in the next couple of months/years. I'm excited for it.
That's what I'm looking forward to as well. We've set a new champion here. Rez, they've been toppled finally. We said after many years of teams chasing them. Dignitas have made the dream happen. NA now have their chance. They're back on top. But it's all about holding it. You're now going to be chased, right, if you're Dignitas. Ladies, this is the last time on the desk. Thank you very much for all your hard work. Look at this little family we've got here.
Canadian synergy here. This is what Dignitas created.
I think you're 13 years younger than me. Yeah,
13 years younger. There you go. Generations of Counter-Strike, generations of professionals. Female Counter-Strike at its best at the Intel Challenge Katowice 2018. Your champions are Team Dignitas. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching all the action. We'll be back next year. Stay tuned and have a great day.